Litton for IsumaTV, and today I wanted to talk about what is our responsibility as a community towards giant, perhaps landmark lawsuits that are actually somebody else's problem. One of the things that I've been reading about today is an environmental lawsuit that's been filed in Ecuador against Chevron. Chevron, as you may know, is a giant oil corporation. Now, Chevron is being sued by several groups of indigenous people who live in the Amazon forest in Ecuador. According to them, Chevron dumped billions of gallons of toxic waste in the Amazon between 1964 and 1990, causing damages assessed at more than $27 billion. So Chevron, in response to this, being its typical large corporation self, employed 12 public relations firms to attempt to bolster its support and its side of the argument against this small group of indigenous people. So the case was originally filed in the U.S. Federal District Court back in 1993, but has since been moved to courts in Ecuador at Chevron's request, meaning they're trying to take it out of the public eye as far as most people in the U.S. are concerned, and basically make it somebody else's problem. If it's happening in Ecuador, then we don't have to pay attention to it in the States. We don't have to potentially boycott Chevron's gas stations, which I actually already do anyway, because they're usually about twice as expensive as most other gas stations. And we don't have to deal with the whole situation, so they can employ the bulk of their 12 public relations firms elsewhere. So my question to you is, do we have an obligation to be aware of these kinds of lawsuits, even when they don't appear to be having anything to do directly with us? Chevron is involved in the United States and in Canada, but this particular issue happened in the Amazon. So what is our role with that? Obviously, the Exxon Valdez spill was a pretty big deal to everybody. And this one really should be too, but you don't really hear anyone talking about it, despite the more readily available information of the technology superhighway. So again, I ask, what is our role? How much should we be learning about this? Why haven't we learned about it more? And it can't just be because of those public relations forums keeping things under wraps. So now that you know about this, again, another question is, what are you going to do about it? This is Claire Litton for IsumaTV.